Hi YouTube, as promised in my intro video, here is my 2020 Appalachian Trail gear video. This is everything I'm going to be taking with me on my thru hike this year. I'm going to go over it real quick, try and keep this as brief as possible, and then I'll show you how I fit it all into my pack. Let's start with clothes. So for clothes, I have two sets. We've got clothes that we're wearing hiking, and then we have clothes that we are going to be wearing in town. Or to sleep rather. For hiking clothes, we've got a pair of Patagonia baggies. I've hiked in these things for years. They're fantastic, they're lightweight, they got a little inner liner, I don't need to bring underwear, it's great. Very supportive. This year I also picked up a Patagonia shirt. It's a really lightweight polyester piece. I think it's called the Bandito. Weighs next to nothing. Dries very quickly. I'm a big fan of it. I've hiked a couple days with it so far. I'm really looking forward to it. Got this outdoor research hat, very lightweight mesh, just to keep a bit of the sun off my eyes, keep a little bit of rain off of my glasses if I'm wearing them. Just a good option to have, like having a hat. On the cooler days, got a pair of tights, compression leggings. Some off-brand from Amazon, I forget the name of it, maybe Sportiva or something, I don't know. They're warm, they're comfy, they seem fairly durable. We'll see. For a mid-weight layer, specifically when I slow down during the day on cooler days, I've got a Patagonia R1. This has been a staple of my gear since I started hiking. It's one of the first pieces I purchased. It's fantastic. It's got lots of insulation, it breathes really well, it's got a hood. This is really my go-to piece. I'm somebody who suffers with blisters on their feet, and my feet sweat a lot when I'm hiking a lot of miles. So to that end, I generally bring at least 3 pairs of socks, even for day hikes sometimes. I'll switch them out every couple of hours. I've recently started using liner socks, and it's helped me tremendously. So I don't know if I'm going to need as many pair, but I'm going to bring them. These guys are pretty lightweight. I've got 2 pair of these lightweight white liner socks. I think it's Fox River. And then I have this polyester set from Fox River as well. Not really sure which one I like better, but they're all going to be useful. To that end, outside of the liner socks, we've got Darn Tough wool socks. I've got 2 different varieties, a little slightly heavier weight here. Not crazy heavy, just good enough cushion. And I've got this lightweight pair right here that will probably be better once it starts warming up. So for a final insulation layer, hiking or sitting around a camp at night, I've got this puffy. It's a Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer without the hood. I think it weighs something like 7 ounces. This thing is really fantastic. It's a piece of gear that I have in my kit at all times, and it's going to be invaluable during the thru hike. So for rain gear, I'm doing something a little different this year. As always, I've got my outdoor research Helium jacket, or Helium 2. This thing's also been a staple in my pack for years. Extremely lightweight, very waterproof. It works as a great wind shell. I find that I use it for a wind shell more than rain gear these days. But fantastic piece of kit. I'm also doing a rain kilt. I picked up this, I think it's the Virtus rain kilt from Z-Packs. Extremely lightweight, and it allows me to stay really mobile. It's much easier to put on and take off than rain pants, and it breathes well. I really, really like it. I think it's going to work out well for me. To that end, I've also picked up a trekking umbrella. This will be the first time I've ever used an umbrella hiking. I've done it for a couple of shakedown hikes. It's made by Snow Peak. Pack's done extremely small. I think it weighs 6-7 ounces. I'll have to check that on my Lighterpack list. And I'm going to be able to lash it right to the shoulder strap of my pack and carry it hands-free. Really cool. My last item is a pair of Mountain Laurel Designs rain mitts. These things are really nice. You can wear them under regular glove. Oh, you can wear them over regular gloves. You can wear them by themselves. They block a bit of wind. They do require you to do your own seam sealing, but they're fairly cheap. Let they get this little cinch, so you can really cinch them down and then slide your rain jacket over it. Really, really good for cold, rainy weather. And speaking of gloves, I just have a basic pair of North Face sort of liner gloves, a little E-tip. They're really useful. My hands run really, really warm when I'm hiking, so unless they're really cold and wet, I'm generally fine. Alright, last item of clothing we have is just a simple buff, just a little polyester or synthetic blend, a little reflective strip on it. Wear it around your neck, wear it around your head, whatever. Just have a cheap, lightweight buff is really useful. We'll just talk camp clothes. Yeah, everybody wants some nice dry clothes to sleep in. So I've got 2 items. 3, but the third one's not here. It's a pair of socks. Anyway, so I've got these items here. It's just a pair of really lightweight Under Armour heat gear leggings. Maybe 4 ounces, I don't know. Useful. And for a camp shirt, I have the 2020 Liverpool Football Club shirt. I'm a huge supporter of the team. This is a very, very big year for them. It's going to be difficult for me to be off in the woods when they finally win their first championship in the past 30 years, but I'll be supporting from afar. I've got a pair of socks that I need to take out of the dryer actually to throw in there for camp socks. And then to that end, I've just got a pair of Crocs for camp shoes. These seem to be almost like the standard these days. I've had my Crocs for years. They're useful. I'm a hammock camper, so my shelter system consists of a hammock, tarp, and some quilts. So here's what we got. I have a Bonnet Blackbird. I think it's the XLC version of the hammock. Served me pretty well for the past couple of years. I keep it in a pair of snake skins, and just for the purpose of the thru hike, I'm keeping all of my hammock gear in one of these little Hyperlight mountain gear pods. So, Bonnet Blackbird. Great hammock, it served me well for years. I've got my ridgeline and stakes and tie-out straps for the trees and everything to support that, and an old first aid kit that I just keep in with it. Since I am starting March 10th, and there's been a lot of cold, wet weather, I'm taking my winter quilts with me. They are heavier. These quilts are significantly heavier than my summer quilts that I'm going to be looking to swap out, so for the first month or so that I'm on the trail, I'm going to be using my 0-degree quilts. I just really didn't feel like buying 20-degree quilts or 10-degree quilts or whatever. So these things are heavy, but I already had them. They're from Hammock Gear. I forget the model names. One of them's the Burrow, the other might be the Incubator. Don't quote me on that one. Anyway, they fit nice into these Hyperlight mountain gear stuff sacks. These are kind of the bottom of my pack, so we've got the top quilt here, and we've got the under quilt for hanging under the hammock. If you've never seen a hammock setup, or specifically a camping hammock setup, that'll be probably one of the first videos I do on the trail, so stay tuned for that one. Alright, and to keep me dry and sheltered from the wind in my hammock, I've got this Hammock Gear DCF tarp. Extremely, extremely lightweight. Really like the DCF stuff, aside from the weight savings, just because they don't stretch out when they get wet. They don't wet out. You use something like sil nylon. When it gets wet, it'll start getting a little floppy and the wind will take it and it'll be flapping all night. These generally stay pretty taut all night. Big fan of hammock gear stuff in general. On to cookware. I'm bringing a little more in the way of cookware than most thru hikers will. I'm kind of consider it my luxury item, one of them. My big heavy item with the cookware right now is this Msr Alpine Frypan. It's actually a stainless steel pan. Most people are using titanium for just about everything. I personally want to actually be able to cook some good meals out on the trail, maybe fry up some eggs and stuff like that right out of Trail Town. Actually, I'm going to be making pancakes. I love making pancakes on the trail. Please don't call me pancakes. Anyway, this thing weighs about 10 ounces, just a touch over 10 ounces. It's really good at spreading around the heat, but it is a luxury item to be sure, and I regret nothing. To support the cooking, or the rest of the cooking, I've got my stove. stove is an MSR, I believe it's a Whisper Light. It's a really good stove that has the ability to simmer. The ability to simmer is really good if you actually want to do something besides boiling water. I keep this thing in just a little mesh sack just to keep it from rubbing around inside the pot. And the pot, to be specific, is, you know, I don't even know what brand this is. It might be Tokes. I might have bought it at REI. I forget. This thing weighs about 4 ounces. It's got the little integrated handles, just like about every other titanium pot you've seen. It's useful. It's good for boiling water. It's good for doing north sides. It's good for making some pasta, oatmeal, whatever it be. Nothing too exciting about it. Titanium pot. We've got another titanium mug. I like to drink coffee on the trail. I'm going to be using the Starbucks Via packets. So whether I boil up water in that pot or whether I boil up water in this little mug, it's just quick and easy and zip away. I don't use hot lips or anything like that. I really don't think they're necessary, especially if you're just doing coffee. You don't need to make it boiling hot. Just wait a few minutes and you'll be good. And lastly, with the cook set, I have a little titanium plate. I think this is Snow Peak. Snow Peak makes some really good stuff. Japanese company, I believe. Lightweight, easy to clean, good stuff. I do have a full set of titanium utensils. Most people only do like the spork, and they'll use their, you know, their pocket knife or whatever. I don't know. I just like having some utensils that I can use for eating, keep separate, clean them up, just let them be. They come in this little mesh sack to keep them separate. I also keep the handle for the fry pan in this sack to keep everything together. And last but not least for cook stuff, is just a little bit of wilderness wash and half of a little cellulose sponge, just for scrubbing down the plates, pots, pans, whatever. The wilderness wash can also be used to clean me, my hands, whatever. It's a little heavy, but it's really useful. The good thing about the fry pan I have too is you don't really need soap or anything to clean it. If you keep a good seasoning on it and cook with a little bit of oil or butter, for the most part you can just wipe it out and you're good to go. And obviously the stove uses little cans of fuel. I'm flying down to Georgia, so I'll be buying my fuel at REI down in Georgia suburbs. I believe it's Perimeter. All right, let's do electronics. I have a lot of electronics since I'm going to be filming almost the entire trail and uploading YouTube videos along the way. I've got a little more electronics than most people. It's definitely one of my higher weight items when you account for the larger battery pack and the GoPro with the battery grip handle, which I'll show later on. So, for electronics, I have a 20,000 milliamp hour Anchor battery pack, as well as the charger to support it. This charger supports power delivery. This entire thing will charge in about 4 hours, which is fantastic. Before the power delivery standard or the quick charge, whatever they call it these days, something like this would have taken 12 to 16 hours to charge. So being out on the trail and being able to completely fill this thing in about 4 hours is a godsend. This should support charging my cell phone about 7 times, but I'm going to be using it for a variety of stuff. So if I can charge this guy every 3 days or so in trail towns, I'm golden. Moving on with electronics, we have a pair of wireless headphones, Bluetooth, if I want to listen to a bit of music on the trail, if I want to edit some videos without annoying people in a shelter or whatnot. These guys are good. A little heavy, especially with their charging case, but not that bad. We have an external microphone. It's actually a USB-C microphone in here for my phone. If I want to add some voiceovers to some of the video I've shot during the day, if something sounds a little bit washed out, I can just clip this thing onto my, call it a shirt, and record a little bit of audio there. It's really lightweight. It's got a little windsock on it. I'll probably actually ditch this little bag for a Ziploc or something. It seems excessive. Garmin Fenix 3. I've been using this watch for probably about 4 years now. it's still going strong. Use this recording for my steps every day, but this is going to be giving me a little insight on how hard I'm working on the trail. And to support that, I have the little charger for it. I really wish it was just a standard charger for something, but it is what it is. I have the Nightcore NU25, I believe it is. I'm using the stock headband on it. I don't really feel the need to change it. This is USB rechargeable, so this is another item that's going to be fed off of my power bank. But it's a fantastic headlamp for my trials with it so far. And last on the items, well, second to last on the items that need to be recharged is Garmin InReach Mini. I picked this guy up as a subscription for a year to support this thru hike. It's really good for giving my friends and family a little bit of comfort, I guess you'd call it. They can actually just see my, my dot walking up the trail. I can send out a message at night, text my girlfriend, something along those lines, just to let everybody know I'm safe. And it's got the SOS feature. If something goes wrong, somebody will come out and rescue you. Last item of electronics that would need charging is just my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, I guess it is. Relatively heavy for a phone, big screen, but it works really good. It's got the stylus, which is good. I'm going to be using Adobe Rush to edit video. And sometimes my fat fingers, trying to select little areas in the timeline, give me a bit of a hard time. So being able to just sort of pop the stylus out of there and grab something is useful. As far as the rest of electronics, it's mostly just charging cables. I've got a variety of charging cables for either the GoPro, the InReach Mini, the headphones, the USB power brick. They have this cable right here. This is a right angle micro USB cable. This is to support night hiking if I need to. If I'm going to be doing hours and hours out in the woods in the night, I can plug this right into the Nightcore headlamp and run it right to my battery pack. And even if it's dead, I'll just be able to run this right into my pack. It's a little long, and that's good. It can support that. The brick being nice, safe, warm, and dry in my pack, and the headlamp being out of my head. So it's a good addition. Beyond that, we've got 3 items that round out the rest of the electronics. It is a Samsung 2 terabyte portable SSD. If I really just take too much video and it gets to the point where I'm loading my SD cards to the point where I can't record more, I can offload it onto this. And if this thing gets full, I'll just mail this home to my girlfriend. She'll dump it onto my computer, onto my NAS or whatever, and mail it back to me. I just keep recording. I'm trying to record everything in 4K, even though these videos you're going to be seeing are going to be in 1080p. It's the best I'm going to be able to do from the trail. But afterwards, I'm looking to do some sort of documentary along those lines, and having good high-quality footage is going to support that. And to that end, we have just a USB or USB Type-C adapter card that you can plug your little micro SD card into to get some of that data off of the GoPro into my phone, into the hard drive. It's just for transferring. This thing's a little heavier than you would expect, but it's really durable. It beat the hell out of this thing. It's got a good aluminum case. I think as long as I keep it dry, it's going to perform very well. And a little bit of redundancy here. I have a very extremely lightweight USB-C to USB-A adapter that I can stick either the hard drive into, or I can use a little USB memory card or memory stick. It's a little 128 gigabyte memory stick, along with the adapter, weighs next to nothing. Alright, let's take a look at the water filter stuff before we get into all the miscellaneous stuff. So I'm going to be doing a gravity filter. Quite frankly, I get really sick and tired of using the squeeze bottles just to constantly squeeze bottles out of stream. I'm lazy. I like to be able to do other things, maybe take a couple of pictures, talk to people around me, whatever. So I've got 2 bottles to support that. I got this CNOC bladder with a screw bottom. So this is going to be my dirty water bottle. Fill this guy up at a stream, river, lake, whatever I find. And then screw on the Sawyer Mini. So fill this thing up with dirty water and then screw on the Sawyer Mini. I know a lot of people hate on the minis. I've always had good luck with them in the past as long as I back flush them fairly frequently. So this is the Mini inline. It's supported for gravity system, stuff like that, so it's threaded on both sides. So pretty much just thread that guy onto this end and let it flow into this little 2-liter Avenue bottle to filter. And so to support that, I actually have this little adapter piece I made, and this will screw onto the Avenue bottle. So I can pretty much fill this guy up and hang it with this little rope right here. I think this will get like branch 10 feet high, wrapped around a tree trunk, whatever. And this thing will filter, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so. But in that time frame, I could be doing other stuff. So it's less versatile as far as just being able to fill up a bottle and drink right out of it, but I'm lazy. What do you want from me? And also, one last thing with the water filter, I have this little blue double-threaded adapter piece. This is used to thread onto the filter itself, and you can back flush it with any bottle, really. As I said, these minis work really, really good. You just gotta back flush them constantly. I've got my food bag using a Sea to Summit. I think it's a 20-liter. Right now it is overflowing. I'm actually going to trim this down slightly before heading out for the trail. But I've got my food partitioned into daily bags. Right now I've got 4 days worth. I'm not going to go into details about it too much, but I do have my favorite, pancake mix. That's where that fry pan comes in handy. Also with the food bag goes the bear bag kit. Everybody at home should know this, but don't sleep with your food bag. Don't leave it in your backpack. Hang that stuff up at a shelter. Put it in a bear box or hang it from a tree. There's so many videos on YouTube telling you how to do that. It's very easy to learn. It's got about 100 feet of cord, a little carabiner on it for clipping onto. You can use a stick or anything as a toggle to do the PCT bear hang. If you don't know that, look that one up. It's really, really easy to do. It'll keep you safe, it'll keep your food safe, and it'll keep the bears safe. It's not only bears, by the way. Other little critters love to get into your food. Mice will chew right through this thing. As far as consumables go, I am carrying some Starbucks Via packets. I'm starting out with about 15. It's a little high, but you know, they're gonna probably be hard to find on the trail. Also about 5 Zip Fizz. I absolutely love these things in the afternoon. I'm a caffeine junkie. The addition of a few vitamins and stuff is really good. It really keeps me going on the trail. My only complaint about these things is they're kind of heavy, especially the little actual tubes that they come in, but worth it. Just some wet wipes and some dehydrated towels just for general cleaning. And probiotic. I really feel like probiotics are really helpful on the trail, especially where you're eating so much garbage food. I'm a hummingbird. I live on sugar when I'm hiking. I just really feel that that's bad for my gut bacteria in the long term, so a little probiotic really helps there. Continuing with consumables, we've got your standard Picadon insect repellent, just a little bit of chapstick, some Coppertone Sport sunscreen, Noon tablets for electrolyte replenishment. These things are really a lifesaver. They're becoming really popular. I think most everybody uses these days. And I have a backup water treatment system, which is Aquamira drops. I actually intend to use both the filter and the Aquamira drops at the start of the trail, where it's most densely packed. You have lots of people in shelters, lots of people using the same water sources. There seems to be norovirus outbreaks and everything just about every year from being people on top of each other. Hopefully this really helps me out a little bit. We'll see. To that end, we also have hand sanitizer spray. This stuff is really a godsend. Just spray it on whenever you're in dirty areas, or you just finished cleaning yourself, or you're around a bunch of people, touching common items. Yeah, good stuff. Last but not least, for the consumables, we have Sport Shield. I live for this stuff. I'm somebody who suffers from chafing on their thighs, I don't know, a little chub rub. Leg muscles are too big, I'm not really sure. But it really, really helps me out. It helps me put miles in. This is the first time I've ever actually used the roll-on. I usually use the little individual packets, but this stuff's been working out pretty well so far. Not too much of a weight penalty there, and it should last a while. I wear contact lenses. I have my glasses as well. My glasses are right here in this case. Either my glasses or sunglasses will be in here. But contact lenses are my primary method of actually not being blind, and I have 30 pairs to take on the trail. It's a little excessive, but I don't really want to have to be worrying about looking for mail drops more than once a month to resupply these things. They're really needed. Got my toothbrush and floss and like oil-based toothpaste. This stuff's kind of cool. Yep. And this is my first aid kit. My first aid kit is also sort of my gear repair kit. So, you know, I've got all the basic medicines, a little bit of Advil, Band-Aids, a little bit of duct tape, gear repair tape, blister treatment, stuff like that. Additional medications, little spare parts for my glasses, an extra little packet of goo energy gel in case I'm really struggling and I've exhausted my food supply, a little fire starter kit. It's a little more than probably a lot of people carry, but it's still very minimalistic. I forget the exact weight, but it's not bad, and it gives me a lot of flexibility. This is a piece that you won't see in most people's gear setup. This is a Frio insulin cooling pouch. I'm on injectable medications that I need to keep at roughly room temperature. This time of year, not a big deal. Once it starts heating up a little bit and you get body heat in my pack from me hiking and everything, the medication could go bad. So this little insulin cooling pouch, you just get a little bit of water on it every few days, and through evaporation, it'll keep things nice and cool. Right now, when it's still nice and cool, I can keep it evaporated, so it only weighs a few ounces. With it fully wet, it weighs about a half a pound, but it's a necessary evil. To support that, I have my alcohol swabs and my syringes and a little clipper for clipping the needles off of the syringe for safe disposal. Alright, so my girlfriend recently gave this to me. I had never used it before. I'm actually starting to become a big fan of it. It's CBD pain relief cream. The container it comes in, it's pretty heavy, but this stuff really works well. You get long, you know, tired feet after a long day of hiking, or aches and pains in your neck and shoulders and carrying your pack. This stuff's really a big help. I'm probably going to exhaust this supply pretty quickly during my first month, and she's going to be mailing me out some more. It's good stuff. So, water bottles. So I've got my gravity filter situation, but I'm also going to be carrying some fresh water that I can drink right away. You've just got your typical Life Water, Smart Water bottle that you can screw the filter on right away if you need to. But I've also recently picked up this Orange Mud little collapsible soft bottle with a bite valve on it. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this thing. This is my favorite piece of gear right now. I keep it on the little shoulder pouch on my pack, and it's like I have a little hydration reservoir. And this thing collapses the entire time, so really all you gotta do is just crank it. Really cool. I might pick up a second one. I bought this from, well, I guess Orange Mud is the name of the company. I'd actually never heard of them before, but I actually got this through a website called Garage Grown Gear. It's just a bunch of cottage vendors all sort of in one place. I really recommend them. And the last few bits here is a little 1 ounce sit pad that I picked up from Z-Packs. Really fantastic for just having a place to sort of cushion your butt a little bit, or you can keep it under your heels when you're sleeping, whatever. Very lightweight, really nice, just gives you something soft out in the woods. I got this little Hyperlight Mountain Gear Fanny Pack. I think it's called the Versa. So there's actually straps in here, but I'm going to use this primarily on the front of my pack, pretty much right across my chest. It's going to be where I keep my phone, and it's going to be where probably I keep a lot of my little snacks and everything that I'm going to be using. And then when I'm in a trail town and I want to be able to just leave my pack in the hotel or hostel or whatever, I'll put my money in here and be able to go around the town and just wear it around my waist. So pretty versatile piece of gear, pretty lightweight. It's DCF, I like it. And since, oh, I didn't talk about my poop trowel. You guys want to hear about my poop trowel, right? The typical deuce of spades. I think this is really what everybody uses. 0.6 ounces, good for digging your cat hole, doing your business. Yeah. And speaking of doing your business, I picked this up. I have not tried it yet, so the first time I try it, it's going to be my first day needing to do my business in the woods. We'll see how that goes. But this is a little portable bidet. You actually just plug this thing into a water bottle, and actually make this video a little more interesting. Let's do it right now. So you can plug this thing into a water bottle and square it away. Should keep me fresh and clean and avoid me getting too funky on the trail. We'll see. Since it is really cool and it's been a historically rainy season down south this year, I've seen lots of videos from people who have started out in mid to late February. People who have been a couple weeks ahead of me, and they're having a hell of a time with snow and ice. So to that end, I'm bringing my micro spikes. I had hoped to not have to do that since these things almost weigh a pound, but a pound is a hell of a lot cheaper than breaking your leg. So this will allow me to continue to do miles and continue to make progress really independent of any sort of ice or anything like that. I see a lot of people taking days off in the hotel, going really, really slow because they're struggling. Micro spikes are the solution to that. I have a Mountain Laurel Designs bug net for when the bugs start getting bad. I really just can't stand when they're just flying at my eyes and nose and everything. This is really good for preventing that. It weighs next to nothing. It actually has a couple of little shock cord loops on here that you can actually string under your armpits, so it actually holds it down against your shoulders. Gives you a good seal. It's a nice piece of equipment. And with everybody freaking out about coronavirus at the moment, a tiny bit myself included, I actually have an N95 mask that I'm going to be bringing with me, just mostly through the airport, or if I find myself in anything crowded like a shopping mall or anything like that. I really don't want to be getting sick on the trail. So my flight from Boston to Atlanta, I'll be wearing one of these guys. And then I'll just keep it in the bottom of my pack for the duration of the hike, I suppose. And last but not least, I picked up this carbon fiber trekking pole from Z-Packs. This thing weighs about 7.5 ounces by itself, and I've then loaded on about, I don't know, an ounce or so of tennis grip tape, or tennis racket grip tape, just to give a little extra grip there. I really like this thing. Got a little Cookie Monster decal there. I really, really like this thing. I bought it just kind of on a whim to see if I would like it at all. Me using trekking poles for so many years, I'm really, really efficient with those. But where I'm going to be videoing so much, I really like just being able to have an extra pair of hands free for the little selfie stick or whatever. Drink a glass of water or whatever. Yeah, big fan of this. I really wish it was just a single piece. This is actually a 4-piece design that you sort of stick together, and there's actually a string in here that you pull and tighten. It can get a little wobbly at times. You gotta keep tightening it and twisting it and everything, but overall it's pretty solid. And I guess I haven't said anything about my pack yet. I have a Hyperlight Mountain Gear, I believe it's the Windrunner 3400. It's a fantastic pack, it's very lightweight. You've got lots of mesh and everything back here for just extra storage or for drying out wet gear. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of days where I have my hammock or my tarp or something hanging out in these guys. It's a good pack. I was worried that I was going to struggle to fit everything in it, but once I learned how to pack efficiently, it fits in with ease. Picked up a little Z-Packs bottle holder here, and this will fit that collapsible water bottle as well as my phone. Just an easy reach right here at the beginning. So kind of cool there, just a little bit of utility. And then I've added extra little shock cord loops, 3 of them in total to the left one. And this is what I'm doing to support my hands-free umbrella situation. I could use 2 of those guys to put the umbrella right up against my strap and have it going right over my head and covering the back of my pack. You'll see that in one of my videos as soon as it starts raining. But also I use these bottom 2 for storing the GoPro when I'm not using it. It's right on a powered selfie grip. It's got about a foot-long handle. So when I'm not using it, I can just zip it down to these 2 loops right here, and it just sort of rests against my chest, out of the way, unobtrusive. It's actually a pretty good setup. Now I'm going to show you how I load everything into my pack. It looks chaotic, but it all fits, and it all stays dry.